Good morning, our beloveds. We have a one-eyed Grinch here who is just unhappy with life in general right now. There's just lots and lots of moving parts and feelings and emotions and processes that she's not enjoying. And she's just really trying to figure out how to get out of here, as if here is a bad place. She wonders and worries what other people think about her journey. Is this really the best reflection of somebody who wants to spiritually grow? And how on earth is this helpful to share this with others? Because she just sees it as drama, and unnecessary bitching. But that is her inner world. That is how she perceives it right now, because that's all she can see because of her own inner vibration as well as point of view. If you all could see the level of chaos in her home, and when we mean chaos, we mean with the physical belongings, as she is moving furniture and items and belongings and childhood stuff from her children around to make room for new ideas and plans that she has. It's creating such a level of disorganization that it really creates chaos within her own mind, because, believe it or not, when her mind is cluttered, it is because her outer world oftentimes is cluttered. When she is in a serene space that allows for expansion, then she doesn't have objects that her thoughts ping-pong back off of, if that makes sense. So here is what today's message is. Be kind. When you see others struggling, be kind. Hold them accountable for their poor or unkind behavior. But do it in a kind way so that you can help these other individuals also to learn to feel safe within their world. Now, there's always the exception, those individuals who absolutely refuse to respond, react, or avoid touching your boundaries, meaning that they just continue to stomp all over you regardless of your request. Well, those people need to be shown the door unkindly sometimes in order to make them feel unwelcome. But as a whole, with those who are in the more generous community, meaning that you all have compassionate hearts and can see pain and suffering in others and care when you are causing this and desire to change your behavior. That is not everyone, as you know, but for those individuals, you are all trying to learn to feel safe within your own world, within your own body, within your own home, and you're really trying to figure out what all of these new emotions are that are coming up, right? So when somebody triggers you, say, hey, you're triggering me, but do it kindly so that they can feel what another person feels like when they are gentle and kind in their feedback. And so this is the question that we ask of you all. When you all are struggling or are triggered or are messed up or are lost, look at those around you who have given you the most supportive support, meaning that it was what worked for you. Yes, sometimes some loving tenderness is good, sometimes some reality checks are good, but as a whole, you are more invited in with a carrot than with a stick. So as you share with others your feedback, allow them to see a different version of the world now being built. And that is one that is built on kindness, consideration, compassion, and collaboration. Stop forcing your ideas, your plans, your processes on other people. Your process may not be the right one for others. So allow them to figure out what best works for them, while setting kind and loving and healthy boundaries for you, saying this does not feel good. Why don't you go take some time to reflect on your behavior and then come back to me? That is much more helpful than you're a fucking asshole and I don't want to ever see you again. One invites a person in to do their inner work and to begin their own healing process while still feeling safe and secure within your presence, while the other is going to cause a reaction and honestly is simply going to reinforce their belief that the world is cruel right now and that nobody cares, that nobody is in their corner, and that it's all just a big waste of time. Invite people into the healing process until they push you to a point where you say, this is no longer healthy for me, and then show them the door one way or the other, because you too deserve to be safe. But if you can just try to share with others what it feels like to be safe within their body when they are not behaving well, because this is the lesson that many of you were not taught as children because of the construct of this world. There are so few indigenous tribes that still manage to understand that childhood should be the most gentle, loving experience so as not to traumatize that inner child, so that when you become a more grown-up child, let's say at the age of 7, that you are much more ready to handle the stressors of the world. But when you're young, you aren't. And when you create that feedback loop, the next generation then really coddles their children. Not enabling, but coddling them. There's a difference. Holding them, loving them tenderly, meeting their every emotional need versus just buying them physical trinkets. It differs, it matters. One creates more of a narcissistic type of an experience, and the other creates a wholesome child who feels loved and cared for and nurtured and seen and respected and honored, right, and valued within society. And when you can begin to understand that you too can do your little part in helping others to feel safe and secure, you will be amazed at how much of a ripple effect your singular point of interaction will have with others, because it is not only the words, but is the vibrational change within you which will ripple out to the universe. And when others are unkind and don't respond in kind, just recognize that they're not able to be there yet, and see them as a willful 3-year-old who doesn't need to be poisoned by negative words or shamed or harmed or spanked, but just simply needs to be held and said, you're having a hard time right now. It's okay. I understand. Let's try again tomorrow. That is the vibrational shift within which you all find yourselves now. And many are still struggling to find this center point of not reaction or avoidance, but just simply appreciating others from a space of unconditional love. Believe it, it matters. It really, really matters in these days of so much contrast, when people are feeling unloved, unworthy, unseen, unheard, unprotected, and marginalized. You will see that these times will continue in one way, but if you can step up and step into your place of power, of compassion, you will see how your own life will change, as well as all of those around you, for the better. And so it is. Namaste.